So this is Ping Mage, which pings your opponent in two ways. The first way is normal hero power with the Wildfire, Reckless Apprentice, Magister, and Mordresh synergy, but then you also have the Arcane Bolts, which are kind of like pings. They kind of look like pings, so I'm calling it a ping deck. And the idea behind this is you want to get copies of Arcane Bolt and Wildfire off of Commander Savara, as well as Arcane Bolts from things like the Arcane Worm, as well as the Arc Splitter. Then you want to play Vexilus, the Magister Apprentice, to make all of your Arcane Bolts free and shoot your opponent. But then you could also potentially win the game with the hero power synergy as well. It scales super well into the late game. You get to the point where your hero power is still doing 6, 7, 8 damage per turn. And then Mordresh, again, is also a really good late game card that is just a Pyroblast to your entire opponent's board. The mulligans for the deck are pretty simple. It's Arcane Worm, Wildfire, Amplified Snow Flurry, as well as Frostweave Dungeoneer, Nightcloak Sanctum, and if you have the coin, Commander Savara. Don't forget to like, comment, and most of all, enjoy the gameplay. Against a mage, we are never, ever, ever going to actually be able to do anything. We need Cold Case for armor and some survivability. That's about it. I honestly like the oh my gosh, I said honestly again. I like the Dungeoneer. I think the Dungeoneer is a good card. I really do. Because even though you're not going to draw as many cards as you do with Multicaster, it enables the 10 mana combo with Agwyn and Vexilus, and then the other thing. And the Arcane Bolts. We'll ping that. It's not that big of a deal. I guess maybe I should just ping face and ignore the 1/3. But at the end of the day, this is going to snowball out of control because Death Rattle Rogue is definitely balanced. For sure. 100% balanced. Would not ever say that it's not balanced, actually. I think that there's a good chance that I die turn 5 or 6 into this matchup. What do you guys think? Unless I get Solid Alibi. If I get Solid Alibi, I can stall out for like a turn or two. If I get Solid Alibi, I can stall out for a little bit, for sure. We actually get a Frost Spell, which is nice. Favorite deck? Favorite deck at the moment will probably be Blood Death Knight. I absolutely love that deck. If it were up to me and I wasn't making content, I would just be playing that deck the most. Jumbray's Evolved Shaman, haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen that one yet, but if you, I will look it up for sure. I have a normal Evolved Shaman that I was gonna play. It's just one Hearthstone replay. But I can check out a one built by Jumbray because he's a very skilled player. Very talented, very good. Freezing their face, I don't think does anything. We'll just go Cold Case and freeze them, gain a little bit of armor. Just do what we can to survive. Turn 8, we can win the game maybe in a couple of different ways if they don't pop off like crazy. They're gonna play the Graveyard into a 1 mana 4/4 Death Rattle, which will automatically die. Death Rattle, get 2 5/8s, which I'm going to have to somehow figure out how to kill, which shouldn't be terribly hard because I have Reckless Apprentice here and these things with Death Rattle, so it actually is possible. You're frozen though. They can kill it off with the dagger, I guess, but so we're gonna freeze their face, obviously. If I play Vexilus, I feel like playing that for tempo is just not good. So let's just play the Worm, go face with these, ping, and just stop for now. I think that's okay. No way Murloc Warlock is suddenly good again. Lol. I honestly, crap, I keep saying honestly. Oh, I have a problem. I'm addicted to the word. Oh no, and they're gonna play it now. Oh, what? Okay, a little weird, but fine. But anyway, I think it's actually pretty good. Either 80 armor druids or steamroll rogues that go infinite turn 5. Yeah, basically those are your two options, I will agree. You could have won the last game if you use your hero power to kill the 4, then use Reckless, killed the 5, increased hero power to 6. No, wait. Because the 16 HP minions still would have lived, no? The 16 HP minions still would have lived, and I would have been in a bit of a pickle. I'll play Reckless Apprentice and shoot him. I think we're getting fairly close to victory here, unless we lose this turn. Oh, we can't freeze them, which is unfortunate. I cannot freeze them. So, because the 1/1 is now gone. Shadow Shambler again, that's fine. Snowfall, okay, this is gonna get crazy, isn't it? Tons of taunt minions, but is it too little too late is the question. Because we have another Reckless Apprentice, we have Arcane Bolt. No, I'm gonna be 1 damage short. Okay, we have to play Solid Alibi. We have to play Solid Alibi to survive and then destroy them with Mordresh at the end of the game. This is only gonna do 2. Yeah. They get 2. That's fine. We play Solid Alibi to stall out. Because this is gonna be 2, 4, 6. We're off by, I mean, I guess technically we'll hit in with the 2/2/2s. If either of them go face, we can win. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just tired of 20 mana Druid. The only reason I've beaten 2 of them so far is I made them concede by stalling so much. I mean, I honestly don't think it's the worst matchup in the world for a lot of decks. A lot of the decks are really fast nowadays. Like this is a slow rogue on turn 6 while I'm constantly applying pressure and I froze their weapon. Right? I mean, if you're playing against Druid doesn't have a chance against this or like aggro Druids or aggro Paladins. We'll see where this goes. Does it go face? No. Does this go face? We'll lower the number of cards on the board by a little bit. No. Okay, fair enough. We will go Solid Alibi. We will ping this. And I will play this so I can free something next turn, but they are probably dead to Mordresh in a turn. Turn 9 victory secured. Turn 8 victory secured. I went 11-2 with Secret Shockspitter Hunter. Is it the deck I played not too long ago? Because I think that deck actually has a lot of potential. No cap. GG kind of owned this new rogue. I mean, that's the problem with this rogue deck, right? There are a lot of times when, even if you hit super duper well, there are a lot of instances where you don't draw super duper well. Like, you will sometimes, but other times... Actually, their hand wasn't even that bad. They had Shatter Shambler, Forsaken Lieutenant, Sketchy Information. I honestly don't know what happened this game. But Mordresh completely and utterly destroys them. They are dead. We got them 100%. Not bad, not bad, not bad. And we'll move on to the next game, I guess. Also, oh no. Look, if we didn't kill them that turn, I think keeping Thalnos is okay. Don't get me wrong, I want the spell damage in other instances, but having this just to draw me a card and apply a little bit of pressure is not the worst thing in the world. Don't like having Mordresh, but if we're able to get a Wildfire and scale things up with a Reckless Apprentice relatively quickly, I think that there's a possibility that I can win. No. Oh, God. We got Wildfire, but it's a bit late on it. I think I ping this. I think I do. I mean, it's either Thalnos or ping. Thalnos would draw me a card, but could be useful later on. Let's just ping. I don't want them to play Vile Library and get an extra +1/+1 out of it, or play the what's it called? The thing that draws them cards. Impending Catastrophe. Which also, I can't believe is still a card, by the way. Like, there's no reason it should still exist. As a 2 mana, draw basically minimum 3. That card should be at least 3 to 4 mana. Change my mind. The Impending Catastrophe completely breaks Warlock, and it's so strong. It's like, why would you ever play something that isn't Imp Warlock or runs Imps? You just always put it in every Warlock deck. It defeats the purpose. I'm losing my mind, I'm sorry. We're gonna play that. Hopefully we get a Frost spell. We do, which is nice. I can play Wildfire, Reckless Apprentice turn 5, and I can play Cold Case turn 4, or Cold Case Wildfire, both of which work. Oh, you're gonna split the, you're gonna split it up. Oh my word! You gotta be kidding! Also, I think that's a misplay. That's actually a big misplay, because I can target freeze that minion. I dare you go face, you piece of garbage. Oh, you suck. And then we have to go Reckless Apprentice to wipe the board instead of Wildfire, which hurts my soul. But it's still good. We do that, we freeze this, we go face. I mean, it still does 5. We're stacking up Mordresh fairly quickly, but I'm gonna need a miracle to kill off that 9/6. I don't know why they would commit so hard to face and not kill off one of the freeze minions. Did they not realize I'm just gonna freeze that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the argument for... Oh. I understand the argument for going full face all the time, but... We'll freeze with this. I mean, I guess we could just kill it instead, which would probably be better. Shoot it. Hit. Play... this. Get an Arcane Bolt to shoot something later. I like having Mordresh as a potential. This is probably Denathrius, so we're gonna have to win the game soon. Or I guess it could be Renathal, not Renathal, Rafaam, which would also be really, really bad for me. I made a Blood Death Knight because I really like control, but Death Rattle Rogue tilted me and I stopped playing. Just put in, what's it called? I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but trust me, it's there. Just put in, I'm gonna play this and ping a 3-2 and go face. Oh no, did I just lose? I might have just lost the game. No, because they played both Wicked Shipments. This is fine. Just put in a Smothering Starfish. It completely shuts them down and fits very well into aggro decks. I actually might lose the game if this is a Rafaam. I trolled. I was supposed to kill off both of them and not play this. I mean, I have 18 HP, but if they played Rafaam, this gets +2, and then it would get +4. So I would take a lot more damage, actually. I would take a lot more damage. Oh no. Oh, we do destroy that, which is nice. Solid Alibi is okay. We're gonna freeze the 7/6 and get more armor. But what was I saying? Yeah, I would have taken a lot more damage. They would have 4 imps. They'd have +3, so they would have done 6, 7, 8 more damage. No, I would have technically lived with 3, and I would have lost to Rafaam anyway, I guess. To be quite honest, no. See, I'm not gonna say that word anymore. I say the word honestly too often. So I'm trying to say it less. For those of you who are like, what is he talking about? Why did he stop mid-sentence? It's because I say that word too often, and I'm trying my best to not say it as much. What do I want to play? Do I just play Mordresh here? I could play another Sanctum and freeze this. Just keep him frozen for now. Play this, shoot him in the face. We can play Arcane Bolt eventually, but not now. I want him to build a board, because since that wasn't Denathrius, they don't really have a win condition anymore as soon as I get board control. So I want to save this to wipe the board in case I need it. I'm fine with that. Whoa. Draw a ton of cards? Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. Hi, it's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, I ended up playing against one of the most broken decks known to mankind, known as Imp Warlock. They drew 2 cards. They drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards for 2 mana. This does 2 damage to everything. That's fine. This plus going face. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 19 damage, and we wipe the board. And we win next turn. And then we can just freeze the imp that's left over. Yeah, sure, why not? 4 damage. Oh, actually, it's not left over because they're, because what's it called? Their board was full, so you need a spot open for it to spawn the imp. But this is not a bad state. We can play Reckless Apprentice and continue to survive. Solid Alibi helps us to survive. I don't know if that matters. I don't know how they survive this. What's their out? I'm trying to think. Denathrius, but they don't have 10 mana. Also, it wouldn't even be that good. 2 of those doesn't matter unless they can give them Rush. Maybe they brought Animated Broomstick back into the game. No? I like this hand a lot. I approve. Don't really want Arcane Bolt. We don't need it that early, but Arc Splitter to get some more Arcane Bolts in my hand. Turn 2 is fine. Arcane Intellect we could play maybe, but honestly, I think I want a little bit more tempo against a Paladin, so we'll get rid of both of those. Arcane Bolt's fine, I guess. In theory, if they play some things early on and we're able to kill them off, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? So we'll pass. I'm telling you, Ecor, drop Cold Case and Magister. They're holding you back. I am not going to listen to you. You're delusional if you think Magister's holding me back. It is literally the reason I've won all 4 of my games that I've won. I mean, yes, the Arcane Bolt is allowing me to apply a little bit more pressure, but I have to kill this. Coin, Snow Flurry, and then ping it. I cannot let that minion live again. We've seen what happens when that minion lives. They play that into the 3-1. They draw a card. It could be Noble Mount. It could be the 3-3, and it just snowballs out of control, so we have to kill it as soon as possible. How is Magister holding you back? I don't know. I have no clue what the person's talking about. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. It's not holding me back at all. We get another solid alibi. I mean, Cold Case maybe holding me back. I'm really having it in there for the Frostweave Dungeoneer. You're right, maybe about Cold Case, but Magister, the scaling hero power is just too good. I'm gonna play this for pressure on board. We'll play like this and this next turn. Rogue needs nerfs, but Ramp Druid has problems too for other decks. I mean, I agree. I think that there are a lot of problematic things out there right now. I mean, think about it. The standard game right now is like, okay, win the game in about 8 turns, 7 to 9 turns. If you're not winning the game in 7 to 9 turns, your deck is too slow. Think about how crazy that is, like as a concept. If you're not winning the game in a game like this in 7 to 8 turns, your deck is too slow. So if they nerf the fast things and slow down the meta, Ramp Druid is gonna get stronger. But if they don't nerf the stuff that's currently going on right now, games are gonna end in 7, sometimes 6 turns if they have a nuts hand or earlier, and it's just gonna become a problem. Like, there's really no way to fully balance this, in my opinion. There's always going to be something that's problematic. Do I want to play Thalnos? The answer is no, I do not want to play Thalnos. But I can't just play nothing this turn. I mean, we ping this. I would rather just draw a card. I would like to draw a card. We have Agwyn for spell damage later. And right now, I'm just trying to draw. I could play Solid Alibi maybe next turn. I can play Arcane Bolt maybe next turn. I don't really know what I want to do, but we know we're going to play something. I think I value spending my mana too much. Countess, cool, fair enough. Obviously, a great, excellent, stellar, superb 10 out of 10 play. Gonna go hit, ping, Solid Alibi. I don't even think it's worth to play the Amplified Snowflare. I guess one could say it's worth it. I guess one could say it's worth it to make the hero power free for Magister on that turn. It'll go up to 4 damage. If they play something with 4 HP, maybe I can do something about it. It's holding you back because you have too many things pulling away from the Arcane Bolt Vexilus win. That's not a win condition, though. It literally is just not a very consistent win condition. You have to draw Vexilus, extra spell damage. You have to draw the Magister's Apprentice, and you have to also have like a ton of stuff. You also have to have a ton of Arcane Bolts, and you can't have used them throughout the game. It's just not a very consistent win condition. It is, like, this is called Ping Mage. The Arcane is there as a backup or a way to help set up the extra damage. It itself is no win condition. Oh, no, no, no. We save the freeze because we don't really need it right now. It's not really a reason to play it. We get the Solid Alibi back, which is great. We get Wildfire, we ping this, we ping that. Arcane Bolt, wait, we played one? I didn't even know we played an Arcane Bolt. I didn't realize that. Shoot that, scale up my hero power a little bit. We'll kill off the 5 next turn, we'll hit here. Actually, do I want to hit there? I'll just pass for now. We want to save the freeze for something better later. We got Arcane Bolts, which we can use to maybe deal with some minions on the board. Maybe we get Reckless Apprentice or Mordresh. That'd be awesome. Okay, that's unfortunate for sure. That's definitely unfortunate. This is going to be a problem. I don't know why they played that before they played the other thing, though. And I don't know why they're going full face. This doesn't make any sense. Kill my 2/3 with your 6/6 so I can't scale up my hero power anymore. What are you doing? Ping. This plus this is not enough yet. Let's just I mean, I could go Cold Case, or I could draw. Let's draw, actually. I think drawing cards is better. Wildfire. Arcane Bolt, Arcane Bolt. Freeze this, Wildfire. Maybe I should just be going full face. Maybe I should have just been going full face there. How much damage is 7? I mean, they're a tempo-based paladin deck. We'll win the game by clearing the board over and over and over again. It's not that big of a deal. Would you say this deck is better or worse than the last iteration of Ping Mage? Honestly, I would say a little bit better. I'm not even kidding. I think that this deck is genuinely a little bit better because you have a lot of Arcane Bolts as a solid win condition, and if you draw enough Arcane Bolts and Vexless early, you can still theoretically win turn 7 or 8. It gives you the opportunity to still beat very, very powerful decks. This is just Ping Mage again, though. The Vexless isn't the win condition. Yeah, it's the win. It's win condition plan B. Like everything should have like a plan A and plan B, no? I feel like there should always be, well, not always, but in a lot of decks, it's good to have a plan A and plan B. I think I could have won the game if I had just gone full face last time. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is just lethal, though, because we get to ping again for 8, and then this is 3. So we go boom, and then this does 8, and then it's just lethal. We're going to keep the Magister. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is going to be a slower Death Knight. I just had this feeling, and even if it's more aggressive, okay, it looks like it's gonna be aggressive. Oh shoot, we're still able to gain 5 armor and a little bit of removal from it, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but this is not good. This is really bad. This is really bad. We're gonna need to, okay. Do I ping that twice? The answer is probably not. We'll play Frostweave Dungeoneer next turn, hope to draw a Frost spell. Drawing both Arcane Intellects makes it slightly more likely that we get this. They have a corpse. Oh, they do have a corpse. Shoot. Reckless Apprentice is definitely not bad. Reckless Apprentice is definitely not bad. We do get Solid Alibi, so this is very winnable. Reckless Apprentice soon is good. If we can get a Wildfire, that would be the best possible thing. If we could get a Wildfire, that would be the best possible thing. Get into the Frostweave Dungeoneer. Currently, I'm not that upset with the stay on the board. Maybe we get Wildfire off of this. We get Cold Case. Honestly, just as good. Just as good to continue to apply pressure to the board. We can play Reckless Apprentice a little bit later. They're going to trade there to draw a card. I mean, they're a board-based aggro deck, so as long as I can survive a little bit, that's useless. Oh, that's so bad if we can draw Wildfire. Even if I don't draw Wildfire, it's still really, really good, right? We can just go like trade Wildfire, and it kills off most of their things. The only problem is, the big problem, I guess, is that no, we have to go the Sanctum. Reckless Apprentice on this. I mean, if I use Reckless Apprentice, if I waste it on this board and they rebuild another board like nobody's business, we're just gonna lose the game. So I guess we can go like freeze, freeze, kill, freeze with this, and then freeze another minion. And just freeze everything and set up for a Reckless Apprentice maybe next turn. And then it's gonna be freeze the 2/3. And then we're also gonna freeze this 2/3. Actually, it doesn't matter where I hit. No, we'll freeze that, we'll freeze this, and then this goes here. And then we can play Reckless Apprentice next turn. Everything's at 1, and I think this is better because if they play 1 or 2 more minions, Reckless Apprentice will do more damage, which I think is just best. And or we get to still ping 1 more time to do a little bit more damage. And they have no more corpses. I lied, they have corpses. The Arc Splitter needs to die to get the bolts. Yeah, they do. Honestly, I wish it was a battle cry. Would that make it too broken? Possibly, but like, it's just so strong. You get Arcane Bolt, pretty useless. Reckless Apprentice. It's gonna wipe pretty much the entire board. They're gonna get a lot of corpses off of this, but it's okay. I can destroy. Please hit the 3/3. Hits face. Yeah, we'll double trade then. It's fine. We still get some control of the board. We can play Magister soon. I would have liked to have been able to play Oh my god, are you kidding me? You drew 2? Okay, GG, we lost. Okay, obviously we didn't lose. I'm exaggerating because he's rushing them into the 3-5, but it's still not good. We have to freeze that. We could also just play Solid Alibi and play this out super duper slow. I'm gonna like Solid Alibi draw. Yeah, let's do that actually. And Wildfire for good measure. Boom and then boom. We can play Magister next turn. And then that's gonna give me another Solid Alibi. And then we have to draw another Reckless Apprentice. But I guess it's still possible that we win. Oh no. We get another Solid Alibi off of this. We can freeze their biggest minion eventually and kill up a couple of their other ones with some of these Arcane Bolts. Commander Savara's not bad. Maybe we do end up playing an Arcane Bolt after doing this. I don't know. We could just go face with it, which feels okay to me. Solid Alibi, Wildfire, Arcane Intellect to draw some cards. We get Reckless Apprentice. That's actually exactly what I want to see. And that is fan-freaking-tastic, what I just got there. I can go ping into Reckless Apprentice, and it'll destroy everything. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna shoot him in the face once. We get a lot of HP. Can't really do too much about it. Their board is locked. I take 7 damage. I go down to 15. I'm happy. He may buff. It doesn't matter. They can't buff the HP of the minions, though. They can buff the attack. Forgot Arc Splitter was a death rattle? Yeah. But again, as a battle cry, it might just be a little bit too broken. Bonk, Reckless. It's gonna scale this up to 5, which isn't a huge deal. We can still freeze and destroy one thing with the Arcane Bolt. And then we can freeze the other thing so I don't take too much damage, because right now I'm in maintenance mode, I guess you could say. Do I want to play Thalnos? I mean, I know I'm freezing one of them. And the question is, how do I kill the other one? Do I just go like Arcane Bolt with Snow Flurry so it's free next turn and I can still freeze? I guess, yeah. It's 1. I mean, I guess there's a world where they can pump up a ton, but I'd rather get some extra damage in hand. I don't think they can pump. They play a charge minion. +3/+3/+3, so that's 14 damage if they play this and then the double thing. Okay, that's fine. We still freeze it with this. That's what we wanted. Trog is fine. I think we still win, right? Yeah, Reckless triggers the scaling of the hero power. It's just, it has to kill the minion, and the targeting goes in order of play. So if I played another Reckless Apprentice, it would go hit here, hit here, hit here, hit here. Because these were played before these. I have 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, plus this is definitely just lethal. This is 4. This is 4. I could also theoretically play Commander Savara and get them again, which I guess is probably better, honestly. So we'll get Arcane Bolt again, Arcane Bolt again. And this is what I was saying, right? Like, the win condition of this deck isn't technically the Arcane Bolts, but they are a nice setup to help you finish the game with the pings, which is your main win condition.